Now look at the second case. This is a second one. Here angle I is lesser than angle R, or angle R is greater than angle I. See, this is the original path of incident ray. This is the original path of incident ray, and the refracted ray moves away from normal. See, OB is the refracted ray, it moves away from the normal. Now, in this case, I is less than R. I is less than R. This means that if theta 1 is less than theta 2, means sin theta 1 is less than sin theta 2, implies that sin I is less than sin R. Or in other words, we can say sin I upon sin R is less than 1. You can recall this first case. Sin I upon sin R is less than 1. And sin I upon sin R implies that n to 1 is less than 1, implies that the speed of light in medium 1 upon speed of light in medium 2 is less than 1, implies that V1 is less than V2. Only by seeing this relationship, we can find which one is the denser medium and which one is the rarer one. Now, the medium in which the speed of light is more is a rarer medium. So, this will be medium second, because V2 is the speed of light in medium 2. So, this will be rarer. And the speed of light in medium 1. So, this will be denser, because speed of light in medium 1 is lesser than speed of light in medium 2. That is why this is rarer medium. Recall the previous video. I have explained the denser medium and rarer medium. So, what conclusion we can draw here? When any ray of light enters a rarer medium from a denser medium, it moves away from the normal. You can see here. Okay. This is the second case. Now, another important thing, that now look at this third case. What happens here? AO is the incident ray and AB itself is the normal to the interface separating medium 1 from medium 2. OB is the refracted ray. So, what is angle I? What is the value of angle I? According to definition, angle of incidence is the angle between incident ray and normal. In this case, incident ray is along normal. That is why I will be 0. Angle I will be 0. So, if angle I is equal to 0 and we have the relationship sin I upon sin R is equal to n to 1, implies that n to 1 into sin r is equal to sine I, and as I is 0, so for 0 degree sine 0 is 0, so n21 into sine r will be sine 0 degree, implies that n21 sine r is equal to 0 according to this value. If angle is 0 degree, then sine 0 will be 0. Implies that, now look at only this. The RHS is 0. That is why the LHS also must be 0. The LH and N21 never can be 0. Refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1 will certainly have certain numerical value. It never can be 0. Implies that sine r will be 0. That is why, under what condition sine r can be 0? When angle r itself is 0. This means that refracted rays along normal. That is why any incident ray along normal never bends on passing through second media. In fact, medium 1 and medium 2 are two different media. But the refracted ray never bends due to this reason. Okay. So you will also write down this conclusion that when any incident ray along normal will never deviate from its path on passing through second medium, in order to follow the Snell's law, because sine I upon sine r must be constant. Okay. Now look at this fourth case, very important case. This is medium 1 and this is medium 2. What happened here? Here vertically opposite angle. Angle I and angle R are vertically opposite angle. So angle I is equal to angle R. Implies that sine I is equal to sine R. Implies that sine I upon sine R is equal to 1. Sine I upon sine R is equal to 1. Implies that N21, because sine I upon sine R is the refractive index of second medium with respect to 1. We can write down N21 and this is equal to 1. Implies that refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1, and this will be N2 upon N1 is equal to 1. Implies that N2 is equal to N1. So even if the medium 1 is different from medium 2, but as its refractive index is equal to the refractive index of second medium, or in other words we can say, if both the media have the same refractive index, in this case the incident ray will never deviate from its path, or there will be no bending of incident ray of light. Okay. So there are two cases. When the incident ray is along normal then in this case the incident ray will never bend from its path, and when the refractive index of both the media are same, then there will be no bending of light. So suppose if you being asked that write down the necessary condition that no bending occurs or for bending of the incident ray of light on passing from one medium to other. So you can write down that in your words that for bending to take place, for bending to take place, a ray has to fall obliquely, on a surface, separating two media of different refractive indices. Indices is the plural of index. Okay. Both these two cases are included in this statement. So you have to understand, for bending to take place, a ray has to fall obliquely. Obliquely means having certain slope like this. This is obliquely. In this case, obliquely on a surface separating two media of different refractive indices. Otherwise, what will happen? If the ray is not obliquely falling, then it may fall like this, along normal AO. Then in this case, there will be no bending. Or if different refractive indices are not, then what will happen? If refractive indices are same, then there will be also no bending. Okay. So I think your concept will be clear with the help of this video. So try to grasp the concept with the help of video. Okay.